It's a real privilege for me to have had space made in your agenda today to talk to you about a little bit about where we were this time a year ago and what together we're working towards in this coming year. When better to do this than the fresh start of September. This time a year ago, it was my first September in post, and I launched with you the new 5-year strategy based on our 4 big priorities. I also launched the new vision statement for the Trust, that tagline of always aiming higher. We celebrated with our very first REAch2 Trust-wide event of the REAch2 Colour Run. What an incredible day that was, with every child and every adult right across the Trust taking part. It's really easy for an organisation to put a tagline together. They're just words at the end of the day. It's much harder for everyone to live up to those words. But last year, you really did. We really had a year where always aiming higher was lived out in practice. Great outcomes for children, great Ofsted outcomes, ending the year in such a good place together with the children at the heart of the vision for this Trust. So it's worth, at the beginning of this new year, reminding ourselves of where we've come from. When we set up REAch2 and schools joined the Trust, there were only 9% of schools that were good or better. That figure now stands at 93%. And that's down to the tremendous hard work and high aspirations and support of every member of our Trust. We also had a really great year in terms of aiming higher for our pupil outcomes. Our 11-year-olds, at the end of last year, for the first time ever in REAch2's history, broke through the national average for reading, writing and maths combined, and we exceeded the national itself. What a great achievement. So looking back's important, but this is the beginning of a new school year, and I want us to look forward together well into our 2nd decade. The aspiration in REAch2 is for every school to be a great school. To achieve that aspiration, we've got 4 strategic priorities. Last year, we spent a lot of time talking with school leaders and with many people across the Trust about how we begin to actually unpick what makes a great school. How do we encourage schools to be unique places with their own identity, really aspiring to greatness in their own way, at the same time as being one Trust? And what came through from last year, loud and clear, is that reading has got to be at the heart of our great school strategy. So I am delighted today, at the beginning of this school year, to say we are putting this academic year early reading as the #1 starting place for our great school strategy. And why are we doing that? Well, because we're all in agreement that reading sits at the heart of what it means to be happy and successful across the whole of the rest of the primary curriculum. The 2nd priority within our strategic plan is about social justice. This is about children breaking through the barriers that hold them back from being the best version of themselves, both now and in the future, that they can be. And this connects deeply to the mission for every school to be a great school. At its heart, social justice is about dignity, it's about fairness, and it's about opportunity. And so with opportunity at the heart of this, 11 Before 11, as the Trust's flagship programme for children, sits centre stage. Every school will take part in 11 Before 11 this year. Those promises of 11 things that children will do and achieve and experience before they turn 11 will be at the heart of the curriculum. Not a bunch of bolt-ons that we pick and choose between, and maybe they happen and maybe they don't, but this year of all years, the year to make a commitment to children that we're seeing this through. Any social justice priority has got to have the most vulnerable children at its heart. So last year, in terms of our SEND strategy, we did a huge piece of consultation, and many of you took part in that. Thank you to everyone that gave feedback. We've listened to that feedback and developed a new strategy for SEND. That strategy this year is starting. It's a strategy that is ambitious, long-term and champions the needs of our most vulnerable children at its heart. And of course, work we do for children with SEND benefits all children. In terms of our third priority, digital transformation, the first place that we started was to get the infrastructure right. So it's absolutely brilliant to be able to talk to you at the beginning of the year, knowing that for the first time, all of our schools are now on one central tenancy. And why does that matter? Well, it matters for things like cybersecurity and other digital threat, but most importantly, it matters because it means we can actually operate as one trust. It means that we've got the building blocks in place now to be able to work out how transforming the way we work, the way we teach, the way we learn, and the way we connect is enhanced by technology. And finally, sustainability. This came from the children. The children said so clearly to us that they wanted us to focus on environmental sustainability. And so we've spent the last year putting many things in place, and there's many things to celebrate. At school level, I've seen such incredible, innovative and amazing projects taking place, awards being given and real strides being made by schools around becoming a more sustainable school, more sustainable organisation. But it's much, much more than that. For this to be a trust-wide priority, we need to make sure that what some are doing, all are able to do. Now, we don't want to rush through big changes, imposing new curriculum and so forth on every school. So I'm really delighted that this year we've got a group of pilot schools who are going to be working to trial aspects of curriculum, new ways of working, and I eagerly await hearing feedback from how that's gone so that we can work out what and how to roll out the rest of the plan. There's also some amazing CPD opportunities in the learning and development brochure that's available on REAch2. There's loads of that makes reference to sustainability. I'm really proud of the connections that we're making on a national level. Organisations like CAPE, that stands for Climate Adapted Pathways in Education, working with the Department for Education to actually write the curriculum, the materials that are going to be used across the country, links with organisations like the Natural History Museum and the Eden Project North. We really are on the map as a multi-academy trust that is leading the way in sustainability being at the heart of our priorities. And I'm excited about what this year is going to bring. There's so many things to build on from the last few years and the last year itself. And so I want to encourage everybody to think of the strength that we have in REAch2 and build still further. Strength in Ofsted outcomes, of course, strength in pupil outcomes, yes, they're a given, but strength in what you do every day to create exceptional opportunities for learning. Therein lies our strength. What you do and what you will do this year makes a difference on the forever story for children. We want to be a trust that's built to last, a trust rooted in its sense of identity, building on its strengths, with excellence at the heart of everything we do, and ultimately with a legacy for every single child that says, yes, indeed, I went to a great school.